Bloodborne! We're sick of all those new hunters. How about some old ones? Speaking of old ones, Peter Brown. Eric, I was going to go by age. Have we done it by age? Eric Tay, Peter Brown.
Yeah.
Mike, you're like 12.
13.
13. Amazing.
12 and a half, man.
I gave him a beer last week.
Oh.
I gave him that beer.
You should not
You're
talk about
telling the
that.
internet? You're going to tell the
I didn't
internet?
have it before. It's okay. In Ireland, you can drink from age 4.
There's going to be
I
a
didn't
SWAT
know.
team rappelling through the windows. in
Don't
like 5
swat
seconds.
us because of beer, motherfuckers. Hey, how you guys doing? It's been a late night. Tokyo Game Show. You guys were up. You two were anyway up recording footage from like midnight o'clock. Eric Tay, you were telling me earlier that you were like sleepy, cutting it all together, and then somebody said Bloodborne, and you opened your
Yeah.
eyes. You impressed? What do you think about the new trailer?
I mean, I'm excited because I didn't, going into the year, did I think I was going to love Bloodborne or play Bloodborne to the extent that I did? No. So, like, to see it, it was on my radar, like, in the summer, and then it just kind of fell off for whatever reason, and then just seeing it, it's like, oh shit, that's right. That's still a thing. And then a lot of the stuff that you kind of want, which is like more weapons and stuff like that, is pretty much what they showed, and you can't be mad at that trailer.
Dude, that one sword where you like jack it into that spinning saw blade.
Oh yeah.
It looks like Dead Rising 3 or something.
Awesome. Yeah.
There's some good
Bow
ones.
and arrow action.
Bow and arrow, yeah.
On there as well.
There was a shield at one point.
Oh, was there really?
Yeah.
Like
that
a shield
threw-
that's useful?
Yeah, it threw me off because he actually blocked like
Oh.
the dragon's breath or something. So I'm like, whoa. I thought the shield was not a thing.
Does it fire bullets?
I have no idea. I
God
saw
damn
something
it.
like a long rifle, maybe. It looked like that.
Miyazaki's
I don't know.
he's doing Dark Souls 3 and he's doing this as well, and he's gotten the like documents swapped by accident, and now there's going to be a gun in Dark Souls 3.
It's that thing where like some guy trips in the hallway and it's just a mess of paper and they're trying to put it together.
This will work.
I got a meeting at 2, damn it!
So I got a couple of questions about this trailer. First of all, I'm going to ask Mahardy about this. Is this set in Yarnum? Do you think it is?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, they show these aerial views, which that looks exactly like Central Yarnum toward the beginning of the game. But I mean, then they have these new, like these entirely new areas. It looks like, but it's called the Old Hunters, which leads me to believe maybe it's a prequel. Tay and I were saying maybe it has to do with Garamond. He's one of the final bosses of the game. He's the one that's kind of guiding you throughout the game, and then he turns out you have to, spoiler alert, he's toward the end of the game.
He's
but
a
I think
piece of shit.
Yeah, he sucked. He killed me a lot of times.
What a dick.
But yeah, it looks a lot like Yarnum. It's still that Victorian kind of horror London-looking place.
They have said that this is a brand new set of hunters, so you won't be taking your old character in or anything. So yeah, it's likely that this is sort of an isolated expansion pack that you can play, as opposed to like some end game content. Also, there's a bunch of bosses here that kind of look like they're modified from the first game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darby's Parl looks
See,
like
there's the
he's got
shield.
fire now. Well, there's Dark.
Whoa.
That's a Darby's Parl looking kind of thing.
God, this game looks so good.
I know.
That's
Jeez.
awesome.
Forgot how great it looked. You guys surprised about how much you enjoy Bloodborne? Mike, I know you're a massive fan of it.
Yeah, I've been a Dark Souls fan for a few years now. Played 1 and 2 both twice or a few times. Played Demon Souls, never finished it, but Bloodborne is probably still, if not my front runner, it's one of my front runners for Game of the Year so far. I've yet to finish, not to get into a Game of the Year conversation.
Yeah.
I have yet to finish Metal Gear, and we have a lot more coming, and there are a lot of other great games, but Bloodborne was that singular experience I had this year where I'm like, that was fucking awesome. I played it twice. I want to start a third, New Game Plus. It's just so much of what I love about like action games like that. It's just it tests you. It's a great challenge and everything, but it's also just so well designed in terms of the combat and everything. I love the world of it. There's like all that underlying lore which I didn't really care about, but the more I played it, I was like, I might as well kind of start paying attention to this stuff. And the setting itself is awesome. I know like other games this year have done the Victorian London, like The Order, 1886,
Yeah.
and Syndicate coming
Very
out
similar
soon.
to Bloodborne.
Yeah. In
If you,
every
like,
way
turn
possible.
the scores upside down, maybe, or something.
Yeah.
God, that game was a real piece. That's a game we won't be talking about. Game of the Year, I wouldn't imagine, Peter. I was a big fan of Bloodborne. I'd never played a Dark Souls game before.
Oh, really?
I'd like attempted to on PC. It was like, wasn't really into it. Played Bloodborne, absolutely adored it. Like you said, the combat was incredible. What did you think about it, Peter?
I think the game is fascinating. Like the way that it paints the world, encompassing so many small details, just in the presentation alone, right? And then there is all that narrative in the back end. Then you also have this amazing gameplay that's in the middle. But this game pisses me off because I suck at it, and I can't get any. And I really want to see everything that it has to offer. And I wish I had all the time in the world, or at least more skill anyway, to like really get into it all. it really does fascinate me to no end, and I think it's like it's such a great accomplishment. And I played Demon Souls back when that first came out, and I really enjoyed that. I skipped over Dark Souls pretty much, so Bloodborne is still that game that I like really want to get back into because I don't want this wave of great Miyazaki games to pass me by. I don't want to be just watching from the sidelines. That's my problem to fix, I suppose.
I feel the same way because when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, fuck,
I know.
never completed Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And now it's like sitting there with The Witcher 3 and I'm still going through Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Like I have this guilt. I went to the beach on the weekend, didn't play any Metal Gear Solid, and I came into work and people were like, oh yeah, how many hours are you in? And I'm like, 20, and they're like, what's wrong? Like, why are you playing it? And I haven't completed The Witcher yet. I have a fucking expansion pack's coming later this year.
It's games like Bloodborne and Metal Gear that embarrass most of the games that come out in our industry. Like, it's just funny to me sometimes when you look at stuff and you're like, why are people actually like betting the farm on something like this?
Yeah.
When they're going up against games like Bloodborne and Metal Gear. Like, more power to you for making the effort and really trying and following your dream, but sometimes I feel like those people should really just band together and try to make something that's really good, you know? But
that's the thing about like Miyazaki games. The joke is that they'll ruin all their games for you, and that hasn't done that. But it is the most rewarding experience for me this year so far. I mean, The Witcher was long and everything, and I finished it, and I felt like I really accomplished something. But Bloodborne, it's one of those games, not to be like contrarian, but it is very hard. But once you really get it down and you're patient, like on the New Game Plus I played through, and it wasn't easy by any means, but I was just so into the rhythm of that combat and like that dodging and that counterattack and trying to refill my health bar that by the second time I played through, maybe Tay, you could speak to this, I really felt like I'd mastered something.
Yeah, the challenge reward sort of loop on that is kind of like it's like it's going to be the weirdest reference ever. It's like third person action Braid because it's like, oh man, this is fucking hard.
you can't take anything for granted. You've got to pay attention to everything.
And then the satisfaction when you complete it is amazing. Tay, you play a lot of video games. I know you've played. What are we like? 12 hours of you playing Destiny already today. Bloodborne, this expansion pack's coming out November 27th. There's going to be a sort of special edition version coming out December 5th, packed in with the full game. Will you have time for this? November 24th is like 2 weeks, it's exactly 2 weeks after Fallout 4 comes out. Do you think you're going to have time to play the expansion pack?
I hope so. Bloodborne was my first Miyazaki game. Never played Dark Souls, never played Demon Souls. Loved it. I want to do Fallout. Never played a Fallout game. I'll admit it. It's okay.
Excellent.
You can shoot me now.
We will.
I know. So I want to get into that, but like now that Bloodborne's like right around the corner, like I will probably just gravitate there real quick. Hopefully it's real quick. I don't know, because like you said, you're starting over. But if the bosses are kind of the same, then you might still be able to get through it pretty quickly, minus like the new stuff we encounter that we haven't seen, like some of those bosses we haven't seen them before. But unless they do something like pretty substantial in terms of like cleric beast or something like that, they're probably going to move somewhat similar, so you're going to be able to kind of deal with them. And
maybe
and
the
that
novelty's in the weaponry though. Maybe that's the aspect where they want you to sort of replay familiar-ish bosses, but you're attacking them in a different way.
I mean, that game's once you kind of like dig deep and like you played several hours, like Mike said, you just kind of start seeing the patterns, and you're just like, oh man, I can't wait. Just do it, and then boom, and just stick the arm through.
That first time I got I couldn't get the gun to work for the longest time. I was like, I kept hitting it too early, too late all the time. And then that first time it did, and it clicked. It was like a fucking door on. It was like checking keys on a lock, and then it goes, and it just was like the most satisfying thing in the world. And then you get it like every single time after that as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty hot for some new Bloodborne.
Yeah.
That's coming out, like I said, November 24th. This holiday season is going to be amazing. I'm just going to sit at home, eat turkey, and play a bunch of great video games.
I'm quitting
good year.
GameSpot for good. Just to
play all the games.
It's been a good year, man.
2015's been a great year.
People said it was going to be like devoid of
I said that.
I said that too.
Yep, I'm so sorry. There's an episode of The Point about me saying how much this year's going to be a snore fest. Nope. You've got a great Game of the Year discussion to sort of piece together this year, Peter.
It's going to be rough.
That's why Kevin left. He was like, he saw what was going to happen in December.
That's why I'm going on vacation in a couple of weeks, so I can come in with a clear mind.
You still have to complete The Witcher.
Complete The Witcher?
Play The
that
Witcher.
expansion's
Play
coming
The
out as
Witcher.
well.
Yes, there also is that expansion as well. Great. All right, let's finish this segment before we realize we don't have any more time. Let us know what you think. Bloodborne: The Old Hunters, of course, coming out late November. Let us know if you've completed Bloodborne yet, or you're looking forward to the expansion. Please put your thoughts in the comment box below.